Luffy is happy and goofy, but he's also depressed as fuck. That was the worst possible way for me to start this video. What I'm trying to say is, he went through a lot through the 1,000 episodes we've been watching him. From losing his brother, to losing his crew, to losing his other brother, to losing his friend, to losing his other friend. Call him Smoker the way he keeps losing. But for real, constantly we've been watching Oda break this man down and build him back up, only to break him down again and again, over and over again. I mean, at this point, Oda's just basically a sadist. Wait, that would actually make a lot of sense. Regardless, why exactly does Oda keep hurting Luffy, and how does Luffy's pain help the show actually become more entertaining? Well, that's exactly what we're answering today. Speaking of answers, let's talk about the answer to your depression. Yes, I know you're depressed, you watched anime. Anyway, subscribe to this channel so you can hear more about Zoro's chest, which automatically clears you of any depression anime has left upon you. But for real, take care of yourselves. The first and most important use of pain for a character is obviously to show how they grow from it. Whether it be emotional or physical pain, characters almost always grow from any form of trauma they've received. And Oda does this masterfully. I know a common critique of One Piece is that Luffy hasn't changed in 1,000 chapters, but it's actually the exact opposite. The only thing that hasn't changed about him is his IQ. Other than that, he's grown a lot. Take the most traumatizing thing to happen to him as an example. When Kuma split apart his crew, he learned that he had to become stronger. He couldn't fail to protect his crew like that ever again. One of the major things Luffy has learned throughout the show is the weight of his role as a captain. Whether it was the Usopp and Luffy fight or just the entire situation with Robin, his growing into his role as a captain was essential to the plotline. Following the by far most traumatic thing to happen to him, his brother becoming a donut, he learned what I consider is the most important lesson he's ever learned. Don't fight an admiral! Jesus fucking Christ! But for real, Luffy realizing that he still has his crew is one of the most important moments of growth for his character. His realization that his relationship with the crew isn't one-sided was super important to the story, and it all stemmed from the loss of his brother. Pain has constantly been a factor Oda uses to drive Luffy's emotional growth. In fact, he's used pain as a way to drive everyone's emotional growth, specifically when it comes to everyone's understanding as their role as a crew member. With all this being said though, another question that comes to mind is, if Oda uses emotional pain to help a character grow emotionally, why does he make the antagonist absolutely bully Luffy? In almost every single arc, Luffy has constantly been beaten up and almost driven to death, many times. And while yes, the pain Luffy gains allows him to grow combat abilities as he gains a better understanding of Haki and his Devil Fruit, there is one other reason. It's entertaining. Maybe I'm a sadist too. Regardless, watching Luffy constantly get beaten up and standing back up is one of the most inspiring and entertaining parts of the show. He never once had an easy fight, it's always been uphill and hard as fuck. Just like Whitebeard's It's been like 3 months. Anyways, watching Luffy struggle is genuinely entertaining. It's always fun watching characters struggle to get back to their feet and still find a way to topple the impossible task in front of them, so, well yeah, it's just fun to watch. Along with just entertaining, there is a deeper use of physical pain throughout the show that relates to the feelings it evokes from the audience. It's the feeling of, yeah Luffy, get his ass, go Luffy! Oh shit, he's dead. No, he's back, go Luffy, that's my rubber man! I should get a job. What am I doing with my life? Hype, it's hype. Hype in its purest form. It's not only inspirational to watch Luffy use his dreams as fuel to never give up and constantly take a stand against stronger opponents, but it's also so goddamn hype. If the physical suffering Luffy goes through is the catalyst for our hype though, the emotional suffering is, well, it's how Oda draws sympathy. Going back to the emotional pain for a bit, by far the saddest moments in the show are when Luffy is crying. It comes in stark contrast to his actions normally, and watching a happy, carefree dude break down is one of the most painful experiences anyone can have. It's like watching a good friend break down. It's a gut-wrenching, horrible feeling, and, well, it's just Oda's flexing. Oda's ability to make us feel what this rubber man going through is one of the most unique talents he has. Especially in a world that is set up to be intentionally goofy, watching Oda be able to create such emotional moments is truly breathtaking. And I think it goes without saying, but the physical pain Luffy goes through also draws sympathy from us viewers. I mean, I'd hope it does. Watching someone be stabbed should make you feel bad for them. I hope you feel bad for them. Side note, why do so many people in One Piece get stabbed? Why is there so much stabbing in One Piece? Regardless, watching him suffer constantly makes us feel all sorts of things that Oda intentionally makes us feel depending on the situation. It's just top tier writing. Moving on from audience emotions though, let's talk about relatability. Watching Luffy suffer is just, well, it's relatable. I mean, I've never been through the pain the level he has, but I think all humans can relate to the feeling of pain. Luffy going through shit is what makes him feel human. While at times we forget he's human because, well, he can stretch, he still is a human. Honestly, he's one of the most humane characters in the entire show. I mean, even his height is actually reachable for normal humans. To most people. To most people? 5-5 gang, where you at? But for real, suffering is a crucial tool in making your characters appear more human. In a world that's full of unrealistic things like devil fruits, hockey, and treble, it's really one of the few ways Oda can make his characters appear human. By making them go through shit, they actually appear more like humans rather than, well, fucking treble. By allowing major characters to have trauma and loss of some sort, Oda makes them appear more relatable to us, and Luffy, the character who has gone through by far the most pain in the entire show, is pretty human. Pain and loss also provide us with an antagonist and conflict. In arcs that may not otherwise have anything to overcome, Luffy's grief can act as that thing. Luffy's pain following Marineford is by far the greatest example of this. I mean, watching a man work to overcome his suffering is by far one of the most important conflicts we can go through. Getting over loss and trauma is an extremely difficult process, and honestly, it's a good conflict to go through. Oda often uses Luffy's suffering as a catalyst to keep the story entertaining in arcs that may lack, well, entertainment. This way, we are never searching for something to combat, we always have it. More than just pain itself, Oda can use grief to give us actual enemies. Take Blackbeard. Luffy's loss of Ace is what makes him feel so much hatred towards Blackbeard, and the same thing applies to Akainu. And finally, the pain Luffy feels is a symbol of where he's at, the Grand Line. The Grand Line has always been called the most dangerous sea, a horrible place to be for all pirates, for anyone in general. Filled with monsters, pirates, racists, treble, it has it all. But for real, the constant pain Luffy goes through is a reminder that we are still in the Grand Line. As powerful as he may be, it's an upward journey filled with suffering. He will never be truly free of his suffering until he reaches the end of his journey. And the suffering Luffy goes through during his journey also exemplifies another factor of his stubbornness. His refusal to give up is what makes him so special. His dedication to his dream allows him to push through and overcome obstacles that may cause thousands or millions of others to quit. He takes every loss as a way to grow and continue onwards. He constantly stands up even after getting the shit slapped out of him because he knows it's the only way for him to get to his dream. He never gives up because he can't afford to. He can't afford to lose his dream. Honestly, Luffy probably still hasn't experienced the worst pain he will go through. In the upcoming arcs, it can be expected that he's gonna lose a lot and go through immense amounts of pain, but at least it'll be fun as fuck to watch. That's my rubber boy. Overall though, that's it for me. Thank you.